Well, I think the most impressive aspect of the building is the Sedum roof. It's a living ecological site as a roof. It keeps in just as much heat as a regular lagging roof would, but also stops a lot of water runoff and acts as a natural site of insulation. It regenerates itself, changes the colours with the seasons. Yeah, I think it's an absolutely fantastic development, something that I'd be pleased to have on my own house, if I owned one, which I don't.
Well, we decided to go for a green roof there. A green roof has several benefits there. One is the obvious one. It's actually nice looking. It's a nice looking roof. We use Sedum moss. It's one of the easier ones to do, and Sedum moss is a type of moss that will change colour with the seasons, etc. It will attract wildlife. It will attract bird life because it attracts insects. So you will have insects and bees, etc. living up on the roof space, and this in turn will attract birds. Water that falls on that roof, 50% of it will remain on the roof and just evaporate off. And this is very important because one of the problems we have, particularly in Havering, is localised flooding during storms. So if you have a big rain event, a big storm, where it just pours down in a short period of time, the storm drains can't cope, and in a number of cases we have localised flooding occurs in Rainham. The roof will help offset that locally because 50% of the rainfall that falls on that roof will just remain on the roof and just evaporate off when the rain stops. The other benefit is it provides cooling to the building in the summer because it's moist, it tends to remain moist. It helps cool the building during the summer, and conversely during the winter it helps retain the heat into the library. So it forms a number of functions, and it is, as far as we're aware, the first green roof in Havering. There will be a few more coming along later.
Our organisation specifically funding the photovoltaics on the roof of the library. We were very keen to put money into one of the main sustainable elements of this project. We realised that by doing that this would have great community benefits, both for the council and for the community in the long term. We look at it in terms of not only building in the community but building education in the community, actually educating people on the issues of sustainability and why it's important. I think there's a lack of knowledge maybe within the not only Havering environment but across London in general in terms of sustainability, and one of the things that the Trust can do is promote that through its grant scheme.
Which means that at least 50% of the energy that the library uses, or that a particular building uses, is not used from fossil fuels, i.e. it produces its own energy. And in the case of the library, that energy comes from the solar panels, which are a particular type of solar panels. They're called photovoltaic panels, which actually convert daylight into electrical power, which is then used within the library itself. When people say solar power, solar panels, they tend to mean the ones that converts daylight into hot water. So the ones that you see tend to be on houses, etc., or even swimming pools tend to have them nowadays, that converts heat directly into heat to heat hot water. The ones on the roof at the library are a special kind of solar panel, and it uses within it, there's solar cells which use a chemical reaction to convert that into electricity. Very common usage. I mean, to give you an example that everyone knows, satellites that are in orbit. The power that powers satellites is from solar panels. They tend to have the wings that spread out for them are solar panels, and they convert the sunlight that's available into electricity for use on the satellite, exactly the way it's been used at the library.
Again, that's very important, because what a library does is bring people together, and it's a place as well where through books, through the arts, we can learn about each other, and we can learn about, well, we can learn about the history of the place that we live in, we can learn about the natural environment of the place that we live in, and of course history of Elm Park is very rich. Its 20th century history is very rich, but before that we've got links from here through to Havering Country Park, which has a very old evidence of settlement going back to the 3rd century BC. So that's all part of this area, and just understanding what's around us, but more than that, understanding different cultures. So here's where we can get books by African writers, by Eastern European writers, by Asian writers, and just overcome barriers and sometimes misconceptions, and people just come together and understand that we're all people, all living on this planet, and we've all got a huge amount to give. But you're drawing people together for a number of reasons, and again, as I say, just people getting to know each other, getting to see each other, getting to hear what other people believe, what other people think, what other people feel is just really good for the richness of our lives, and to have a nice space in which to do it. Because obviously, in your own living room, if it was dark and the lights didn't work and it looked like it was falling to pieces and the wallpaper needed doing, well, you wouldn't go and sit in there, and So it's a very good thing, and the idea of bringing people together in order to read, learn, all the stuff that we can do in library.